my curious and playful Gemini friend. Hello and welcome. My name is Mina, and I'm here to offer you a 3-card reading exploring the themes of you, your path, and your potential. I invite you to consider what the reading reveals about possible challenges, opportunities, and personal growth for the week ahead. Take a deep breath, rest your mind, and let's see what the cards have to share with you today. A Gemini, sometimes the week opens with a hush that is hard to name. It's as if you're caught between the familiar hum of your thoughts and a restless urge to break out of them. This isn't restlessness for the sake of movement. It's more like standing in a hallway lined with doors, each one barely ajar, each one whispering a different promise. There's a gentle ache that comes from wanting to listen to all of them at once, yet knowing you can't. This is the kind of tension that doesn't announce itself. It's a quiet, internal tug-of-war, the desire to choose, mixed with the fear of missing out on what you don't. All week you may sense the background noise of so many possibilities, each one shimmering but just out of reach. No one else sees this play out. On the outside you look calm, maybe even decisive, but within you're scanning horizons, weighing options, wondering if this is the moment to leap or to wait. There's a vulnerability in this. You want to be sure, and yet certainty feels distant. Even so, the longing to move forward is growing, not with urgency, but with a steady, quiet pulse. This inner climate finds its mirror in the 7 of Cups, a card that for you now doesn't simply mean indecision. It's the lived feeling of having too many windows open in your mind. You notice how easily you drift from one vision to the next. Maybe you imagine conversations that haven't happened or replay choices you never took. Each option glimmers for a moment, inviting you to step into it. There's a subtle thrill in this, the sense that anything could be possible if only you chose it. But with every new possibility comes a shadow of doubt. What if by picking one you lose something precious in the others? Beneath the surface there's a deeper hunger, the wish to feel whole, to sense that your decisions reflect every part of you. Yet the more you try to please every voice inside, the more scattered your energy becomes. It's not that you are lost, you're simply stretched across many futures. Sometimes this makes even simple decisions feel weighty. The inner dialogue grows louder. Should you trust your first instinct or wait for another sign? Should you move toward the idea that excites you or the one that feels safest? These aren't just questions about the week ahead, they reflect a pattern that's been echoing for some time. Still, there's something quietly courageous about this state. Only those willing to imagine risk feeling torn. Your imagination is a gift, Gemini, but it can also be a source of subtle exhaustion. If you notice yourself daydreaming, unable to settle, know that this is your way of holding space for many truths at once. There's tenderness in this, even if it leaves you feeling unanchored. This week, it's likely that you'll recognize moments when your mind leaps ahead, exploring every outcome before you've even taken a step. You may find yourself longing for someone or something to help you narrow these choices, but the invitation here is simpler, to notice the richness of your inner world, even as it pulls you in many directions. That tension between wanting everything and knowing you must choose is where your week truly begins. From this place of swirling possibility, your path takes shape almost inevitably. The uncertainty you carry inside doesn't stop the world from moving. If anything, it accelerates the pace around you. As you hesitate, events gather momentum. The choices you hesitate to make start to find their own way to you. Opportunities, pressures, and responses from others begin to cluster, each one reflecting the energy you've been sending out. It's as if your indecision becomes a kind of magnet, drawing in attention, expectations, and sometimes even recognition from those who sense your inner searching. You're drawn forward not because you've chosen, but because life is choosing for you moment by moment. The week's unfolding is captured by the Six of Wands. Here you may notice a shift. Possibilities begin to crystallize into events. Perhaps someone acknowledges your efforts, or you're thrust into a situation where your voice is needed. There's a swelling sense of momentum, a feeling that you're being seen and perhaps even celebrated for qualities you weren't sure anyone noticed. Yet this attention brings its own friction. With recognition comes the subtle pressure to perform, to stand behind your choices, even if you're still uncertain. You might feel a surge of validation, a sense that, for a moment, your inner world and outer reality are in sync, but this can also amplify the weight of your decisions. Others may look to you for direction, assuming you know exactly what you want, when in reality you're still sorting through all the possibilities. The praise or acknowledgement you receive feels good, but it also sharpens the stakes. There's a quiet tension between wanting to enjoy this moment and worrying that you're not yet ready to step fully into it. At times, you may find yourself caught between celebrating your progress and second-guessing how you arrived here. The path ahead seems both inviting and daunting. Each step is visible, and with every new expectation comes the urge to retreat, to return to the safety of your own thoughts. Still, something in you responds, a sense of pride, however tentative. The energy around you is vibrant, alive with opportunity, but it also demands clarity. The world is asking you to move, to decide, to be seen. In this friction, you're invited to test what happens when you inhabit your choices, even if you don't yet feel entirely certain. The movement of this week isn't just about external success. It's about how you manage the emotional push and pull between what's possible and what's actually unfolding. In the midst of recognition and momentum, something subtle shifts. You begin to realize that the possibilities you imagined are not just fantasies, they are invitations to participate in your life more consciously. But this turning point doesn't arrive on its own. It depends on your willingness to be present, to meet the moment as it is, and to notice how your energy affects what comes next. The week's potential isn't hidden in the cards or determined by fate. It emerges from the way you choose to engage, not perfectly, but honestly, one moment at a time. This is where the real change happens, when you recognize that potential isn't a given, but a living process that asks for your attention. If you notice the urge to retreat or to chase after every new idea, pause. The possibility for growth lies in that pause, in the small act of choosing to meet yourself right where you are. What unfolds from this conscious engagement is reflected in the Six of Pentacles. This is not a promise of easy resolution, but an invitation to discover balance through simple, mutual exchanges. The urge to have everything at once softens into a quieter question: what can you give, and what are you willing to receive? The week reveals that your potential isn't measured by how many options you explore, but by the quality of your presence in each exchange. There's a gentle generosity here, a giving and receiving that happens in small, tangible ways. You may notice that when you share your attention, your time, or even your uncertainty, others respond in kind. Growth for you this week is not about grand gestures or sudden clarity. It's found in the act of being available to yourself and to those around you. As you navigate the shifting pressures and moments of recognition, the invitation is to ask how your energy can support not just your own vision, but the needs of the present moment. This isn't about self-sacrifice or holding back. It's about discovering that you can be both generous and discerning, open and grounded. By noticing what you have to offer and being willing to accept support in return, you create a space where possibility feels less overwhelming and more nourishing. The richness you were searching for in your imagination becomes real, not through certainty, but through connection and shared experience. All three cards, the Seven of Cups, the Six of Wands, and the Six of Pentacles, weave together into a quiet story of movement from inner complexity to outward engagement and finally to balanced exchange. You begin with a heart full of dreams, possibilities swirling just out of reach. As the days unfold, those dreams pull you outward, asking you to step into the light, to risk being seen, even when you're not sure which part of yourself to show. The world responds, sometimes with praise, sometimes with new pressures, but always with the invitation to choose. Through it all, you gradually come to see that clarity isn't a prize waiting at the end of the week. It's something you build moment by moment, through simple acts of presence and generosity. The tension of indecision loosens, not because every question has been answered, but because you allow yourself to participate fully in what's happening now. By the end of the week, you might notice that your energy feels both lighter and more focused. You're no longer stretched thin by endless options. Instead, you're rooted in the gentle, ongoing exchange between yourself and the world. There is comfort in this. Even if new questions arise, you know that you have the capacity to meet them, one generous breath at a time. Actionable insights for Gemini this week. Notice what feels most nourishing in your day and gently lean into it. Let small acts of sharing, whether attention, time, or a simple check-in, unfold naturally. If you sense yourself pulled in too many directions, try pausing and focusing on just one thing or person at a time. Spoken word affirmations to repeat aloud for a more positive mindset. I am present where I am needed most. Each moment I give and receive with ease. My energy is enough just as it is. This week I trust my choices. And now, dear friend, I thank you for giving me your time. I truly hope I have given you something helpful in return. Goodbye and good luck until next time.